Hello, and welcome to It's All the Work. It is me, your boy Big T. As always, we have Dreshin to the side, we have Hanji Manji down below, and we are here to bring you the news. We're here to bring you the reviews of Raw from 5/6. The start of the King of the Ring. I want to say first and foremost, you know what? I don't want to say that because I get to it later on. King of the Ring was okay. When I first saw the lineup, I was honestly super stoked and super surprised because, I didn't know who was going to come out on top. But then as I started thinking about it, it started becoming a little bit more clear. But, I mean, y'all can ask G. I was freaking the hell out when I saw the lineup. I was like, oh shit, this is about to be lit. Matches were pretty lit.
I mean, honestly, you know, I felt the same way. It was more of a holy shit. We can't book this, you know, because it could legit go either way and still be great.
Right. Yep. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. After I finish eating my Cheez-Its. I'll stop eating Cheez-Its after this.
Eat Cheez-Its on stream. God damn,
no.
Man. Do better.
I already had dinner too, man. I'm just being a fat ass. Ain't no explanation for it. Ain't no excuse.
Tito Bandito strikes again.
But either way, top of the show, we're going to get a recap of Backlash and Judgment Day. We'll be entering the ring, and it is mentioned while Judgment Day is coming out to the ring that Drew is not medically cleared. While Judgment Day is in the ring, Damien is going to mention that people really like Jey. The crowd seems to really like Jey, but none of it matters because he is still a campeon, and he feels the need to address some things with the Judgment Day that have recently happened. And immediately Finn is going to start apologizing for getting involved in the match. He says, I can't apologize any more than I already have. You know, we've done this in the back. And Priest said that he actually wants to apologize for losing his cool after the match. And they all hug it out. After that, Damon says, enough of this. Conversation's now going to switch to the King of the Ring. Finn's going to act all cocky and arrogant. He says that because Drew is out, that means he gets a bye. And guess who gets to go immediately to the next round? Well, Adam Pearce is going to call BS on this, and he's going to come out and he's going to say that Finn is actually not getting a bye and that his first match is going to be against Jey Uso. This is going to bring us right into the beginning of the match. I do want to ask, though, we've talked about it. Damien making up with the Judgment Day, is this just a bandage that's going to prolong the inevitable, or are they really trying to keep the group together and just tease this breakup? Like, what's going on here?
All right, first of all, that wasn't just apologizing. That was Damien having all three of their dicks so far down his throat
Jesus
he could
Christ.
taste their taints. I'm sorry. That was fucking horrid.
Oh man, Dresh coming out with the bullets.
You had that on your chest for a minute there, didn't you? God damn.
Did I not say pretty much a toned down version of that to you when you asked what did I miss?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, God.
And on top of that, when we go to jump in the match, Jey Uso's entrance was probably one of his best entrances in a long time. And the crowd popped hard on it.
Hype. It's always hype.
That is true. As a viewer, I'm spoiled on France.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Judgment Day poll, I think it was a good pop. You know, I think it was a good call right now. Just because of right now, you don't want it to fall apart in the middle of everything. I think Damien has a plan he's running in the background here. I don't think he wants the Judgment Day to fall apart while they're trying to get another belt. That's what he's trying to do, is he's trying to get essentially another belt or another honor back into the Judgment Day. And it was just unfortunate that his, the human Funko Pop was his shot at it. So.
Jesus. Now, question, was Dominic in this group when Damien apologized?
Dom was there, but he was late to the group hug.
Yes.
Like, he was standing off in the corner, and after they started hugging their feelings out, he came up and Finn put his arm around it.
To be fair.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Uh-oh.
No, I was going to say, spoiler alert, they're still going to break up. It's just inevitable.
Heard that.
It's a spoiler. Like, they're going to break up.
Heard that. To be fair, it was JD and Finn that kept effing around and finding out. So I think that's why the apology happened. Not to mention, with Backlash, it was really JD and Finn. I think that Dom was just ending up in that hug just to be a heel, just to be a dick, because no one likes him.
But, I mean, Dom hasn't been, quote-unquote, active,
Dom hasn't been cleared.
Injury.
Yeah.
I'm not buying the whole injury bit. It's whatever, but still, he hasn't been around like he normally has been. Regardless
Dom
of
jacked it too hard to live.
So,
I think Liv jacked it too hard.
Well, I was going to say this. This doesn't really fit anywhere else in the podcast tonight. But did you guys see on Twitter that Liv posted a new picture, and some eagle-eyed fans found out that Dom's bandana, the purple bandana, is in her pocket. It's in her left pocket. So they are putting subtle hints out, and I'm telling you, one of the first pieces of business that Rhea's going to deal with is Dom cheating on her with Liv. That's going to be that's going to be a thing. That's going to be brought up. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be hilarious. Or it'll just be a betrayal. It's just little breadcrumbs for fans to follow. I don't know.
It's kind of awkward already because isn't Dom married? I'm just saying he had a whole wedding and Rhea was there, so
he had his whole wedding ring on during the Carlito segment that we'll get into. I thought that was hilarious.
There's a whole marriage that happened and we're just like, oh, he's cheating on Rhea. Like,
I say he's
motherfuckers are married.
He's cheating on his wife. He's cheating on his mistress. Man, Dom out here getting it.
God damn. Dom is legit Eddie Guerrero's child.
That's what I'm saying. Motherfucker lies, he cheats, he steals.
Side piece.
God damn.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If he came out with Eddie Guerrero's music, I would not be mad.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't be mad about it.
Motherfuckers Eddie Guerrero incarnate at this point in time. I think that's by purpose, but fuck, man.
So, but let's go ahead and jump into this match properly. So, Finn Balor and Jey Uso. Their styles mix, but they also kind of don't. Like, it was a good match, don't get me wrong. It was just weird to see them together, but I'll just do my notes. Like, so this match, for me, it told me that, like, Finn was never going to win. And I think we all knew this anyway. Even if it was against Drew, he wasn't going to beat Drew. Not going to beat Jey. WWE doesn't have backup plans. Like, Finn is not in WWE's plans. Not in their backup plans, not anything. Finn's the fall guy. But I think he's actually mentioned, I think we've talked about it on the podcast before, that he's fine with this. He just wants to wrestle. He wants to have fun. He wants to be with his boys and have a good time. I think he's fine with this. He's cool where he's at. And he's a good damn wrestler. He's made his money, and now he wants to make his friends. I think that's where he's at.
That's fair.
But one funny thing that happened is while Pat is yeeting while Jey is coming down to the ring, Michael Cole calls JD a human Funko Pop, which Dress mentioned earlier, which I thought it was awesome.
He finishes the statement by saying that human Funko Pop, JD McDonough, told you to sit down.
Yeah. So the match itself obviously is designed to give Jey a win after his loss at Backlash. As well, so as far as replacements, it's like, it was a good idea. It was a good idea to put Jey in this spot. I don't know if the plan was always this, and they were just like teasing Drew McIntyre to further the CM Punk thing, but it was a good idea to put Jey where he's at. Yeah. So what that tells us, though, is that Drew McIntyre was also not going to win King of the Ring. If he was actually, because I think all of us already know most likely who's going to win. Unless someone spectacular shows up on the SmackDown matches, we already know who's going to win.
It could be a toss-up, honestly. I don't know. I don't know.
Fair. Either way, I mean, we at least know the semifinals on the Raw side is going to end up being Dragonuv and Gunther. There's no way around that, in my opinion. Spoiler alert.
I agree with that.
Spoiler alert, the two winners tonight are Gunther and Dragonuv. But anyway, so at the very beginning of the match, Finn is going to have control. Jey will get a brief glimpse of hope with a suicide dive on one side of the ring, but they're going to go to the other side of the ring. Finn's going to retain control on the other side, utilizing the ring post and the announcer's table. We end up going to commercial. We'll come back, and Jay's going to be in control for that moment. But then it's basically going to shift back to Finn. He's going to throw his leg out from under him so his face hits the ring post. You know what's really interesting? I saw that happen 3 or 4 times in this Raw. So they utilized that ring post. Literally pulled their legs out, their face or their back or something hit. I don't know why that's like the move. It was the move of the night, but it is devastating to see. So Jey eventually starts getting his upper hand. He'll start doing his standing splash. Like he goes to the top rope, hits a standing splash. He does his little apron kick where he's on the apron, grabs the top rope, kicks him. He does his electric slide punches or whatever he does. So he does all those things. Jey is going to, at one point, reverse the sling blade, which I've never seen happen. I've never seen anybody reverse the sling blade the way he reversed it. He literally just caught Finn. This sets Finn up for the Uso splash. So basically slams him, gets him set up for the Uso splash. Finn's going to dodge the splash, which allows Finn to set up for the coup de grace, which Jey is going to dodge, and this is going to turn into a spear for the near fall. And then your little finishing spot is going to be Drew enters the arena through the side, through the crowd to distract Jey. Finn's going to do a roll-up for near fall. Then Jey's going to kick out, and then he's going to hit a spear out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3. Jey will advance in the King of the Ring tournament. So how do you guys feel about Jey taking this spot instead of Drew, and would you have rather Drew be in the spot? And obviously, what do you guys think about the match?
I'd rather Drew be in the spot just because I like Jey. I feel like he has the crowd. Like, as far as pop, I think he's overtaken LA Knight for that top pop person when they come out and have their entrance and stuff. Jay's taking that over. Like, he's the top wrestler right now. I feel like if maybe he starts working on a different moveset, starts advancing his wrestling, yeah, of course, he'd be good in this match, or, it'd be a better fit. Me, personally, I just wanted to see Drew go to the finals and lose to the King of the Ring. Or lose to Gunther in the semifinals. That was my whole thing of Drew being in it. But to further progress to CM Punk and the whole injury storyline, I get it. It is what it is. But me personally, I like Drew better. But no, that's just my thoughts.
Heard that.
I mean, I'm a Jey Uso fan. I've said it multiple times. I like to see Jey. It's good to see Jey go over. However, I don't think the King of the Ring tournament, I don't think the replacement for Drew McIntyre was the time and place. I think Drew would have made a much better opponent moving forward. I think most of the WWE universe would have loved to have seen this Gunther Drew, just absolute, for lack of a better word, slobber knocker. I think it would have been a match for us for the ages. It would have been a PLE level match. I really think it would have. But instead, we're not going to get that. And I think they're just going to sacrifice Jey to Dragonuv next round. And Ilja, I don't know. With Jey, what's the point in putting momentum in front of him if you're just going to cock slap him right as he starts to get going? Because they're not going to drop Ilja. He made too big of a splash in NXT. They're going to push him through. We're probably going to end up Gunther Ilja in the semifinals, and
if we don't get Dragunov versus Gunther in the semifinals, it may be a riot. I feel like I've said this before, but it just
I agree that entirely, but I think we wouldn't have gotten that if Drew had still been in.
Well, the way the lineup was set up for that, it would have happened regardless, because it was Dragunov. It was the bracket was set up as Drew and Finn, Kofi
Ray and Kofi,
and then it was Dragunov and whoever the fuck else, it doesn't matter. And then it was gonna be Gunther and whoever. So we were gonna see the Gunther and Dragunov match regardless.
Okay, but I still with Jey moving forward, what's the fucking point? They're gonna, next week on Raw, they're gonna sacrifice Jey to Dragunov, and that little bit of momentum that he got, you just mushroom stamped it. Go back to your fucking locker room. We'll deal with you another time. We might think of another storyline for you, but for the most part, you're just gonna be a laughingstock.
So I think that we're gonna start running something with the bloodline here soon with him.
I think it's going to take his brother getting back before he drops in.
Do we have an injury update or any kind of anything on Jimmy? Because I know his injury is obviously a work, but have they said anything that we've seen?
They have not put anything out, so they're just not ready for that. I think they're waiting on. In all honesty, I think they're waiting Roman to get done with his sabbatical.
Okay.
2, I think I know for a fact, they're still trying to figure out what to do with Jacob Fatu.
Oh, yeah.
The rumor coming out of the company is they're holding him back because they were afraid that his level of savageness that comes from him will overshadow Solo.
Yep, that's what I read.
So they're trying to bring Solo up in that level of savageness so that Jacob Fatu doesn't overshadow him, just to push him out of that picture.
Tama's already done that.
You're not wrong.
And there's still 2 more? Is it 2 or 3 more that the WWE is looking to add to the bloodline? Because there's another Fatu. There's another Tonga. It's the third Tonga brother that helped with the Gorillas of Destiny. That particular Tonga, his contract is up at the end of June with the Japanese wrestling circuit, and WWE's expressed a lot of interest in him. And like I said, there's one more Fatu, and I think there was one other person. I have to go back and find it.
They're literally gonna have the Samoans as the NWO in WWE soon. It's literally gonna be NWO. Well, it's gonna be Samoans versus WWE because this is getting insane.
Rikishi gonna come back, bro.
So
yeah,
he gonna be the manager.
So yeah, Sami Zayn will end up getting involved again.
Why?
I can see because Sami Zayn used to be aligned with them, and they're gonna need an extra person. I'm talking about Roman and the Usos. They're going to have to do that. They won't have a choice. And I think that KO ends up reluctantly joining, and then Randy Orton ends up reluctantly helping because Randy Orton's a part of KO. I think all of that happens, but I think all of that happens at SummerSlam. I think there's going to be, or not SummerSlam, but Survivor Series. I think there's going to be an initial match at SummerSlam, and I think the new Bloodline wins, and then I think there's going to be a Survivor Series War Games match with more people, and I think that OG Bloodline comes out of that on top. That's what I think we're building to. If we're adding that many people that Dresh is talking about, then yeah.
I know that, like I said, I know they've expressed interest in at least 2. I don't know if WWE is going to sign them, but there's at least 2 more.
Yo,
I just don't see a need for them. I don't.
Gee, why you out? Every time I make a theory, why you out here looking at me like I'm telling you we can move around 13 games in 2 hours? Like, why are you?
It's about the same sentiment, just unbelievably stupid, but whatever. No, that theory is not stupid. Let me be clear. It seems pointless to have all these people gathered up to defeat the Bloodline, and then have them to help the OG Bloodline because the new Bloodline is savage. Nah, take care of your people. Y'all come over here with that bullshit, then we'll deal with you. I'm not helping Roman. If I'm fucking KO, Seth, Cody, Crybaby Cody, I'm not helping them. Why? I got what I wanted. I don't need to go back and, put the OGs back in charge because these new young bloods are getting out. No, take care of your people. Deal with your shit. That ain't none of my business. That's just me.
All right, fair enough. With your Sonic cup. Is it a cup from Sonic?
Nah. Popeyes, and I dare you to make a joke about it. I dare you to make a joke about it.
Nope, we're going to move on. So after this, we're going to see Ivy Nile and Zoey start training for their match. And we're going to see that Becky Lynch is entering the building, folks. We couldn't get away from it, G. We just couldn't get away from a wrestler entering the building. Where they're going to get a Gunther Sheamus promo after the commercial break. Like a promo video. So either way, when we come back from that commercial, Drew's going to be in the back. He's going to be complaining to Adam about being taken out of the King of the Ring match. They're going to be arguing about it and his ability to fight, and Adam is just going to lay down the law here. He's going to say, not only are you not medically cleared, but it's your fault that you're not medically cleared. No one knew you were injured until you came out on Raw and started fucking yabbering your gab, so I had the medical officials take a look at you, and you're hurt. You're out. Get the fuck out of here. And Drew's going to get in his car. He's going to drive off. When that happens, we're going to get a QR code. Now, I'm going to go into the QR code after we finish this little area. So we're going to get the QR code. And then at that point, while Drew is driving off, CM Punk is literally going to drive right in. TV is amazing, isn't it? So he apologizes for being late. Says he's had a hard couple days, and Adam Pearce says, well, I bet. Now what they're referring to is CM Punk literally getting locked inside of WWE headquarters to the point of where he had to sleep inside of the building. He took videos of it. It's all over his Instagram, all over his Twitter, all that kind of stuff. It's hilarious. He actually got locked inside the damn building.
I was say, whether it's work or whether it's real, that shit was funny. That shit was wild as hell. Like, how the fuck you get locked in? You say it wasn't anybody's fault. Bitch, it was your fault. I get locked in there.
Like, the second wrestler to get locked inside of somewhere in this year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Say the Miz gets locked inside of a closet. Like, what are these wrestlers doing? Why is he in a closet? What's he doing in there? With some other random man? There's a problem. All right. Anyway.
You live your best life.
True that. So Punk tells him to ask the truck to hit his music because he has something to say. He's going to walk to the ring. On the way to the ring, he sees Chad Gable yelling at Alpha Academy. And Chad says hi, fist bumps CM Punk. And Punk tells him to take it easy on them. And then Punk's going to enter the arena. Now, very quick, we have a QR code to deal with. Now, I haven't done the other QR code videos like I said I was going to, basically because the shit's crazy, all right? It's hectic. It's a lot going on. Whatever. So, I'm doing it here, and then I'm going to cut it, and then once I cut it, it'll be available on the YouTube. So, I'll cut it a little bit better than me just talking and then stopping and talking and stopping, whatever. As you guys want to make comments, please do. I assume you guys are watching on the app or whatever, so you guys can see everything I'm putting up. But if you scan the QR code at the moment that Drew drives away, you're going to be brought to this website, www.derisive, right? Derisive. So, you'll be brought to this right here. Let me hit the good old F11 to full screen it. Boom. All right. So, get rid of the name overlay. Got a lot going on here. What we're going to do is we're going to hit play. Now we're going to watch this video. So, here we go right now. Warning to people who don't like jump scares. we ever wanted was a chance. Fills the screen. You get the Raven again. Sign of Pluto. Then you get your little jump scare. And that's the end. Now, if you hit Control U on this video to watch or to look at the source code, there's actually nothing hidden in the source code, but as you can see, if you move your cursor down and highlight, you're going to find years in Metonic cycle. So, I looked up Metonic cycle. There are 19 years in a Metonic cycle. Now, what's significant about that? Well, from the 6th, the day that this aired, 19 days from the 6th is the 25th, which is the King of the Ring. So we basically have a confirmation that on the 25th, something will be happening. So, now, if you move down, there was a slide bar on the right. Now, if you move down, you'll be checking all of this. Now, pro tip, if you hit Control A, it highlights everything, right? So I hit Control A, everything that can be highlighted is highlighted. So there's nothing in all of this dark space that I'm aware of that I've been able to find. But if you go all the way down to the very bottom, you'll see a Raven right here in the bottom right of the screen. So a lot of people missed this. A lot of people didn't miss this, but I saw it down here. Now, if you click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to bring you to this puzzle. It's a PDF, right? So it brings you to this puzzle. Now, I went through and I took the time and I solved it. I actually didn't cheat. I solved it myself. And this is what it deciphers. All right, boom, right there. So that's the deciphering of the puzzle. And basically what it says is, you know nothing. Hell is only a word. Reality is much, much worse. Now, if you were to try to look at the source code on this, you can't, right? Because it's a PDF. You can't look at a source code of a PDF, technically. But if you were to look at the properties of the PDF itself, the actual metadata, hidden inside of the metadata is this. So, the author is he. The title is Valkyria, or Valkyria, as it translates to, and I'm going to actually have Dresh, if he's willing, I'm going to have Dresh explain that a little bit in a second. But the key words, so the subject is empathy, and then the key words is asterisk, 3 asterisks, searched for a friend, 3 asterisks, found none, 3 asterisks, stared into the abyss, hoping someone would glance back, and still no one cared about asterisks. He led asterisks out of the darkness, but let asterisks keep a title or keep a little darkness inside. Now, everything else is basically where it came from, the creation date, this, that, the other, all that kind of good stuff, right? So, if we move on from that, let's see what we got here. So we had a couple words, right? Derisive. Derisive literally just means expressing or causing contemptuous ridicule or scorn. And then we talked about this word eukarya. Dresden will let me know if I'm missaying it, but Dresden, tell us a little bit about this word, please.
Eukarya is a Greek word. It is an older Greek word used in Greek translations of the Bible a fair amount, specifically in Matthew 26:16 and Luke 22:6. He agreed to begin looking for an opportunity with Eukyrian to deliver him to them in an absence of a crowd. Eukarya is like I said, it's a Greek term that its base meaning is opportunity or the right moment. And to take it a little bit further, it's convenient opportunity or in a favorable occasion.
Okay. Interesting. So yeah, so we're getting just more cryptic things happening, and I gotta be completely honest, I'm really excited that it's 19 days away, because what that means is that we have at least, because NXT can be involved in this now as well, we found out. But we have at least 4 more instances where we're going to get QR codes, which is awesome. So that's 4 more times we have to talk about this, 4 more puzzles. The head of creative, Rob Fee, is honestly fantastic. I just want to take this time, by the way, to say hello to our
what you meant to say was
first-time
high on
chatters.
bath salts.
What's that?
I said what you meant to say is high on bath salts.
You gotta be high on something. But no, I want to take an opportunity to say hi to our first-time chatters. Thank you all for coming in and checking us out. But I just wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think of this whole... I mean, it's basically confirmed that it's Uncle Howdy, right? We all know that's what it is. How do you guys feel about how they're doing it? Because in the past, they did a bunch of stuff with Bray Wyatt before he died, and it never got past being interesting past like a month, and then the story fizzled. So I'd say 3 months, and then the story would fizzle. So how do you guys feel about it? Does it feel different to you, and do you think that they can carry on the legacy?
Well, so didn't the last video, it might have been the video you had here, right at the end of it with your jump scare, if you broke that down, wasn't that Uncle Howdy?
What do you mean? What are you saying? If I broke what down?
There was a video that was like a room, and then the last like 3 frames of the video, you could see somebody's feet in the background, and then they ran at the camera very quickly.
Yes.
Wasn't that Uncle Howdy?
That is Uncle Howdy. However,
if you slow it down, isn't it? It's his mask, isn't it?
I don't know if it's his mask, but it's definitely his get-up. But I will say this. I have seen Alexa Bliss in one of the videos. Actually, that's what I think
she was 2 videos back, I believe. She was turned around facing away, but she was in it.
Well, so I saw her in the video like two or 3 weeks ago. I saw her in one of the videos. It was a quick flash. Now, when I watch these videos at 0.25 the normal speed, because there's so many things that are flying through. So if I catch anything extra, I try to mention it. But it is confirmed that it's at least Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, because 2 QR codes ago, there was a video that said Believe in the bottom left-hand corner. The screen, they saw what it was a whole bunch of "They Believed" kept coming up on the screen, and then the bottom left glitched to Believe. So that is confirmed, Uncle Howdy, 100%.
We've known it was him for a while, because remember, right around WrestleMania? They had the one. Yes, it was at WrestleMania. The glitch that they had at the WrestleMania Live or whatever event, where it was up and you could see sitting on the barrel was Bray's lantern. There was a pickaxe or something, and then here was Uncle Howdy's hat.
Yep.
And he picked up his hat. So I would say since there, we've definitely confirmed at least him.
Yep.
And then, like you said, we've seen a few others in it.
I say there's been a lot of...
So far, even though nobody's shown back up, I think they've done a really good job in keeping it interesting.
Yeah.
I think those WWE Universe fans that have the maps on their wall with all the little red string and all that drawn all over it are taking this to a level that WWE won't recreate for a while, because this is something they can take that with. And I think it's a beautiful thing that the creative director was able to run this and has been able to interweave it as deeply as he has. It's almost, akin to back to that COVID era, where they could do the supernatural shit because there was no one there, and they could play with it like they did with the Playhouse and all that, and they could throw the magic elements into it. And they're kind of weaving that same storyline in the background, and I'm enjoying it. I just don't take it as deep as you do.
Right. I think this honestly started back a while ago. Remember we caught the Nikki Cross walking across the screen?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. We broke that on like episode 3 or 4.
I think that's when they initially started this entire process. Because if you notice, even on Twitter, after her sighting of just walking across the screen, you haven't heard shit about it. You haven't heard shit from her.
A lot of people are saying that the asterisks are for her or she. That's what the asterisks are. So a lot of people are saying that's definitely a nod to Nikki Cross.
Mm-hmm.
So very excited for that. Let's see. So, but moving on, because it's going to get deeper and deeper. So I only want to carve out 15 minutes at most for it, because we got a whole lot of Raw still to get to. We're going to get into the CM Punk segment now. So CM Punk's going to come out. That obviously after he gets in the ring, he walks straight, or he gets to the arena, he walks straight to the ring. And Punk says that he came here to get into a fight with Drew McIntyre, but he's left the building, and he says that tonight he's going to go over on time, and he asks all the fans to tweet Drew right now, and maybe, just maybe, if he's sitting at that light, he's not texting his wife, he's on Twitter just scrolling through, and maybe if he's not a coward, maybe he'll come back. He then tells a story about Drew hurting him at the Royal Rumble from a DDT. He says that he's a 5-tool player, he can do it all, but Drew is just a tool. He talks about how he had to sit at home and listen to Drew talk shit about him for weeks. He says that Drew is obsessed with him, and Drew is just like him, and because of that, he's starting to wonder if Drew actually hates himself instead of hating CM Punk. He calls Drew a choke artist, not like Punk is a choke artist, but still a choke artist. Now that's a nod to when he choked out Jack Perry over in AEW, and even Pat McAfee was like, yeah, guillotine, got it.
I'd like to note real quick, going through all this, G noticed while we were watching it, WWE actually tweeted out saying, what he said to do. But later on, I was scrolling through X, and Pat McAfee sent it from his personal account and tagged Drew and said, Punk called you out. So they actually tweeted it from right there while he was sitting in the ring.
Yeah, Pat
blurring the lines.
Pat McAfee's one of the best things to happen in wrestling in a long time. I will say that. Dude's fantastic.
Man is wild. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So he's then going to vow to break Drew's face and then break his heart, whatever that means. He's probably banging his wife. Who knows? He says that the fact that Drew didn't show up means he's scared of Punk. Punk's music is going to hit. He's going to drop the mic, and Punk says into the camera that if he has to travel to Glasgow, he will. And he will hide inside of a bowl of haggis and pop out and break his face. But that made me chuckle. Oh no, that was funny. We're going to switch now to Kathy Kelly being in the back, talking to Ricochet to get his thoughts on the King of the Ring qualifier. Rick says that tonight is his chance to define his legacy, and Braun's going to interrupt. And Kathy asks him why he came out to help Jey last week. And Braun says, I'm always here to stand up for the little guy, and I hate bullies, so I'm going to help out Jey. But tonight's not about me, it's about Ricochet and him reminding everybody why they call him King Ricochet. And then that was that with that thing. Now, I couldn't remember, did Ricochet win King of the Ring at some point?
Not to my knowledge.
Fact checking.
I say maybe he was just called King Ricochet in another life or something. But while G is checking on that, we're going to get into Iyo Sky versus Natalya. I just want to say, you have to have your enhancement talents, right? And I don't think there's one better professional enhancement talent than Natalya. Natalya is fantastic. Like, she goes in every match, she knows she's going to lose. She always has a smile on her face. She comes in, she puts in a kick-ass match, she gets in her moves, and then she puts over the wrestler, and then she walks out, and that's it. And she does it time after time after time. And I have a lot of respect for Natalya and what she is and what she does, or who she is and what she does. Like, she's fantastic. But just going to say, I'm just going to go through my notes here. Natty's going to have a good control of the match for the first part, and they're going to work to the outside where Iyo will go for a moonsault from the second rope to the outside, and she's going to land on her feet once Natty gets out of the way. But Natty's going to then grab Iyo and swing her around towards the apron before giving her a big boot that flattens her against the apron. It was just a mean ass big boot, and Iyo sold it very well. We're going to end up going to commercial and coming back to see Natalya going for a superplex, which she will hit for a near fall. Natalya is going to hit a great counter roll-up powerbomb. It was very weird. Like, they rolled up. Natalya picked her up and slammed her. I mean, it looked weird, but it was honestly a beautiful execution of a powerbomb. But she's going to set up for what looks like a sharpshooter until Dakota Kai is going to get involved, and Io's going to reverse and then set Natty up for the moonsault, which will seal her fate in the next round of King of the Ring. So obviously Io's going to go over here.
Queen of the Ring.
What's that?
Queen of the Ring.
Did I say King of the Ring?
You did.
Sorry. It's been King of the Ring for 30 years, so throwing Queen of the Ring in there messes me up sometimes, so please correct me. But after the match, Dakota is going to get a mic and say that Damage Control is here to put everyone on notice. She says that she is replacing Asuka for the Queen of the Ring tournament because she's unable to compete. She says that they are coming for the tag, or they're coming to get their tag titles back. And finally, she says that that they all, as a unit, are coming for Becky once Becky is done with the charity case Liv Morgan. So after this, we're going to see Ilja Dragunov. We're going to see a vignette, which leads to our match, Dragunov versus Ricochet. I got the most notes on this out of anything else, which still isn't a lot of notes, but this was a good match, and there were just spots in this match that were crazy. As a matter of fact, I'm just going right along. I'm sorry. What did you guys think of Iyo Sky and Natalya?
Of the women's matches of the night, it was the one that drew my attention the most. Most of the women's matches for the Queen of the Ring really didn't do it for me. The wrestling wasn't there, wasn't on point. There was a lot of missed time. There was a lot of moves that didn't make sense. The matchups just weren't gripping. This one was really the only one of the women's matches that I paid good attention to because I was invested in it from start to finish. Natalya, like you said, did an amazing job.
Right. Like, for her not to be in the, like, top tier women's wrestling, as far as considered, for championship runs and all that, she really did show out. Like, she showed that, I know how to do this. This is my shit, This is where I belong. She put on a hell of a match, so yeah. It like Josh said, it was one of the best women's matches of that night, if not the best, probably the best.
In my opinion, definitely the best, and I will get to why I think it's the best when we get to the next match. But Dragunov versus Ricochet, I know that you guys are going to have a lot to say about this. G, I know specifically you love Dragunov, and for good damn reason. And we all love Ricochet. So I'm just going to go through it, then I'm going to let you all have at it. So what I have is I put, like, these men are basically the same size. Obviously, the match is going to be extremely explosive. The entire match, it's going to be quick. There's not going to be a slowdown period. That's not how these guys operate. Dragunov has some extremely impressive no assist, meaning that Ricochet didn't jump. He didn't give him an assist. So Dragunov with some extremely impressive no assist German suplexes, which Ricochet is going to reverse the third one by first time wrenching the fingers of Dragunov to make the break, but then Dragunov is going to get him again, and Ricochet is just going to backflip out of it. Impressive. This will lead to the outside where Ricochet will attempt a moonsault off the second rope to the floor, to the outside floor. Dragunov will all he's going to do is back up. He's going to back up, he's going to catch Ricochet, and then he's going to actually finish that third German on the outside on the floor. He's going to throw him with so much force that Ricochet is actually going to do a backflip and land on his front.
Ricochet actually bounced.
Which he bounced.
Yeah, he bounced.
Like, again, this is a good example of you're only as good as your opponent makes you look, and these guys made each other look like fucking superstars. Like, it was so good. Ricochet didn't have to do that backflip. He didn't have to risk his sternum, but he did. So, moving on. they'll end up getting back in the ring, and Dragunov is going to hit an incredible springboard drop kick to the face of Ricochet while Ricochet is kind of like bent over. I'm pretty sure I saw his face somehow slingshot to the front row and then come back. That shit was wild. So they'll then work to the top rope together, where Ricochet is going to hit a top rope. They're both standing on the top rope, and Ricochet is going to hit a top rope Hurricane Rana. Ricochet will then throw an assault of suicide dives on the Dragunov, topping it off with a top screw, what's it called? A torque screw plancha. Before we go to a commercial. So he suicide dives on one side, suicide dives on the other side, and then torque screw plancha over the top rope on the final side. Absolutely crazy. When we come back, Elijah's going to hit the Constantine special, which is basically, it's like a 619 maneuver through the ropes, and then he does a spin for basically it's a spinning clothesline. But it's pretty cool how he executes it. He'll then set up Ricochet for a nasty looking senton drop from the top rope for a near fall. We're going to get Ricochet doing a fireman carry slam to a lion salt. Now, the cool thing about this is the man does the fireman carry. He gets him in the fireman carry's position, does a cartwheel with him in the fireman carry position. He uses his body as the cartwheel position as the post. And then he does a lion salt. And at this point, we start getting the "This is awesome" chant. So then, Dragunov is going to rally. He's going to hit the H-bomb. He's going to try the Torpedo Moscow headbutt, but that ends up being reversed into a recoil, which Ricochet hits that for a near fall. We're going to get a superplex off the top rope from Dragunov to Ricochet, and then Dragunov is going to say, "Screw it, I'm just going to use the H-bomb." Hits the H-bomb one more time. 1, 2, 3. At the end of the match, they shake hands as a show of respect. Dragunov is going on to the next part of King of the Ring. This match was absolutely, totally insane.
Best match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Best match of the night. I didn't know I needed a Ricochet versus Dragunov match. I did not know I needed that, honestly. But damn, if those two didn't pull it off.
Those two put on a clinic. It was an amazing match. I enjoyed it. Dragunov put out some serious crackhead energy, including, he busted his own face open.
He busted his face open. He was bleeding at the end of the match. This wasn't even a hardcore match. It was just going hard, and you could see just when he went for that final H-bomb, he's just and god damn, that man's crazy. I love it though. The energy is crazy.
The whole him grabbing his face during the match, I was like, man, this man's unhinged. Like he's really crazy.
He's really unhinged. He's an unhinged wrestler.
Loved it.
God damn, he can't perform.
So we're gonna go ahead and move right along. Sheamus is in the back with Jackie Redmond, not Kathy. That's Kathy Kelly and Jackie Redmond. I apologize for mispronouncing their names there. I don't know why I'm fixing it in my notes. I'm never going to go back to these notes again. But Sheamus is in the back with Jackie Redmond, and she asks about the match with Gunther and Sheamus, and says that Sheamus will say that they don't like each other, and tonight he's going to finally kick Gunther's arse. Is basically the gist of what that's all about. And then we're going to get Ivy Nile versus Zoey Stark. Actually, you know what? There is one more match after this, isn't it? Yeah, it's Dakota and Lyra. So there are 3 women's matches. My bad. So my critique comes on the last match. But either way, Ivy Nile and Zoey Stark. So they're going to go back and forth until Ivy hits a standing vertical suplex, which is honestly extremely impressive. She actually did hold her up for quite a while. Zoey will hit an equally impressive springboard missile dropkick afterwards. Ivy is going to do a top rope bulldog at one part of the match. It's another good part of the match. Zoey's going to end up reacting to a roundhouse kick from Ivy that does not connect in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if y'all caught that. She does a roundhouse kick at one point, and Zoey just falls on the ground.
I didn't see that.
They did come back from it though. Zoey actually did try to bring it back. She did realize that it didn't touch her in any way, and she actually tried to scramble. But any fan who's an asshole like me that's going to critique it, we already seen it. Zoey Stark is going to end up advancing here though with the Z360, which by the way that move is impressive as hell. She hits the Z360 after she reverses a top rope suplex attempt and pulls the legs from under Ivy. So we get that whole, you're on the rope, I'm going to pull your legs from under you, you slam your face, boom, Z360, done. Not a fantastic match, not a bad match, just a match. Neither one of them is going to win anyway, in my opinion, but just a match. So
yeah, we all know who you said is going to win.
Chelsea Green ain't in it yet, so I'm still going for Tiffy Time, but Tiffy Time also isn't in it yet, so you don't know. What do you guys think of this match? I feel like this was a meh. This is mid.
This match had the ability to be another good one, but
it didn't live up to its potential. Put it like that.
G and I had one of our best games of Call of Duty of the night because it just didn't draw us away from it.
Damn.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong. Damn.
Man said we got our first dub of the night because we weren't distracted.
Damn. That's so fucked up. You're not wrong though. Yeah, we legit were just like, yeah, focus. Oh, she hit a Z360. Oh, that's match over.
And I'm gonna talk more on this later. But if they were gonna put a match on a live event like they did with those two other matches that we'll talk about here soon, why couldn't it have been this match going on the dark and then Shayna and Zelina being on Raw?
Hey, you got me there. I honestly would have looked forward to Shayna versus Zelina.
I mean, I guess because Zoe's. You know what though? I shouldn't say that. These ladies deserve to be spotlit. I shouldn't have said that. Zoe needs her run, and Ivy needs to have a spotlight on her every now and again. I don't know.
I mean, we still haven't got to the last match, so.
Oh yeah, we getting there.
I mean, since you're speaking about Shayna, did you see the video or the picture I posted in the group chat from Shayna's picture they put on fucking NXT?
Oh yeah, she looked mad.
She looked pissed about NXT. She looked hot as hell. She really did.
She was not happy. May 6th to lock in. Shayna went to NXT.
Looks like a fucking junkyard dog. And I'm like, God damn, man.
She was mad as shit, bro.
Yep. Indeed. All right, so we're going to move right along. Truth and Adam Pearce are in the back talking about Awesome Truth facing the Huskies. The whole team for all the gold. I was actually so confused by this that I couldn't even take accurate notes. Like, basically, Miz shows up. Miz is fed up and says that him and Truth need to have a talk. And that's all I really got. Like, they had the coach there. I just don't know what was going on. But they walk away, and Braun walks up and asks why he's not in the tournament. And Adam says, "Step into my office and we'll talk." So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that means that they're going to put him in the IC contendership after King of the Ring. I don't know if he's going to be in the match for the King of the Ring tournament on the SmackDown side. Like, I don't know what's going on, but they have something big apparently planned for him. Maybe that's Sheamus's next fight. Like, I don't know.
I think it's going to be a triple threat with Sammy, Bronson, and Chad.
Well, that's what I was saying, like, after the King of the Ring.
Yeah, I was going to say, I posted in our group the men's SmackDown King of the Rings.
Oh, they have it up?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's AJ Styles and Randy Orton, Carmelo Hayes and Corbin. LA Knight and Santos Escobar.
LA Knight.
Yep.
And then it'll be Tama Tonga versus whoever the fuck Nick Aldis wants to put in Bobby Lashley's place.
Uh-huh.
So it could be Braun.
So wait, is it KO? You said KO is fighting Randy Orton?
No, KO's not in. AJ Styles and Randy Orton.
Okay, so KO is going to go against Tama.
Probably.
And I just figured out what's going to happen at... No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm just gonna. I'll back off of that. Let me back off of that real quick. You know what? I make crazy predictions on this show. AJ Styles is going to be the one to go to the end. He's going to end up beating LA Knight. It's going to be AJ Styles versus Gunther. Uncle Howdy's going to debut and screw over AJ Styles. And AJ Styles and Uncle Howdy will have their first... AJ Styles will be the first target of the Uncle Howdy 6.
Ew! I want to see that shit. I think by far, I like Tiffy Time being Queen of the Ring better than that. Jesus Christ. I think that was the worst prediction you have ever made.
You want to talk about chaos? I got some chaos right here.
That didn't even make sense. That's not even chaotic. That's just nonsense.
Oh, man.
I think an elementary school child could do a better prediction than that. AJ Styles going all the way. If he goes all the way, I will buy you a Funko Pop. All right.
Oh, that sounds great.
If he goes all the way, yeah, I'm buying you a cheap one, but I'm buying.
Nate, will you put a link in the Facebook chat real quick for the King and Queen? I want to show it at the end of the show.
Yeah, let me go find the image again because I just typed it out.
I was either the image, the link, whatever. I don't care. Anyway, I'm going to continue on. We're going to go to the Judgment Day and see Finn Balor apologizing again, and he's feeling bad at this point for apologizing. But Damian says that JD is going to take care of the Braun Strowman problem next week, which JD is immediately like, wait a minute. That's like if you told me I was going to take care of the Braun Strowman problem next week. That's the same exact damn thing. But anyway, so Dom walks up with Carlito before JD can fully react, and Damien gets right in Carlito's face and says, "I didn't forget about what you did. It's been 1 year to the day since you screwed me over in my match, and I'm not going to forget about that. If you're looking for friends," and then he says in Spanish, "There are no friends here." And Carlito says, No, it's all cool, man. That was in the past. You guys are running Raw now, and that's cool. And he says that he needs help with Rey Mysterio and the LWO, and that if they scratch his back, well, he'll scratch theirs. And Damian looks at Dom and he says, "Get him the hell out of here." And then Dom says he'll come around, and we're gonna fade into our next match.
Dom is just splitting off. Dom is doing his own fucking thing.
Look, Dom is making his own group. It's gonna be Carlito. It's gonna be Carlito, Liv, and who the fuck else knows? Who knows? Santos? I don't know.
I don't think it'll be Liv. I think she's just gonna be fucking them. I guess if that's what we're gonna call it. I'm disgusted thinking about it, but
it's the kayfabe.
Whatever. Pulling on this mullet. Oh God. Can we move on?
Yeah, we can move on. Chad Gable versus Big Bronson Reed, and basically a grudge match, more or less here. Bronson is going to try to come out strong with this fucking major Death Valley driver. They botch the move before it happens, but Bronson is just so strong. He just heats him back up, basically. Chad is going to hit a great no-assist German on Bronson. I didn't even think it was possible.
That's a lot of assists. That's a lot of non-assists.
That's a lot of non-assists. Yes, sir.
I say first of all, it's a lot of man. Second of all, how do his arms even reach around him? I don't even understand how that's possible.
Looking at it, I don't know if did it reach around him, or did he just kind of hold on to the sides and because that's what I didn't see that.
I say I really don't know.
Him reach around him.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it to be completely honest. So
he grabbed those haunches and just went.
Yo, that's the only thing I can think.
So Chad actually did something that I think would have been very impressive. He tried to press his luck. So he goes to the top rope, and I think what they were going for was a Spanish fly from the top. I think they were trying to do a Spanish fly, but it didn't really work. So what happened is Bronson did the front flap. He did the front flip to the mat. It was basically a front flap. He did a front. He did a front flip to the mat, and Chad just kind of fell to the mat. But Chad was supposed to do a backflip there to complete the Spanish fly, but they didn't really get it. It's very rare to see 2 botches from either one of these men in one match. But to be honest, you know, Chad gets oiled up to the gills for these matches. So when you try to pick him up in a fireman's carry to do the Death Valley driver slam, it's probably very easy to drop him. And the Spanish fly is one of the hardest moves in wrestling. So, and when you're doing it with a big guy like that, I mean, you got to protect yourself. So I think Chad was just protecting himself. Either way, after this move happens, Sammy's going to come out and he's basically going to lay the fucking smackdown on both of them for a little bit. But Bronson Reed is going to end up getting the last word in this exchange. I think what he ended up doing was 2 Uranagis, a Uranagi to each of them, before leaving the ring. Bronson's the camera's going to follow Bronson up.
Branson?
He's gonna follow Bronson up the
reach today, man.
Let me continue.
Bronson.
You're not supposed to drink the Daily Must, damn it.
Damn. Yo,
but
listen, flaps out here.
But do a front flap. Oh man.
Well, he did have Bronson Reed.
Oh my god.
Lifting his front flap. Oh,
oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I ever get into wrestling, if I ever do any kind of proper wrestling match, my move is gonna be called the front flap. I'm just gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't even know what it's gonna look like. Anyway, Bronson's gonna walk back up the ramp, back into the back, where Adam will be waiting for him in gorilla position. And he says, "I guess you're gonna explain yourself." And Bronson says, "If you want control, you know what you have to do." Now, here's the thing. I understand why this was important. Do not get me wrong. But this night was about King of the Ring. And in my opinion, this segment could have been done next week. I think this was dumb. I think that another King or Queen of the Ring match could have gone here. And either way, like, and I was writing these notes out as I was watching, obviously. So I put either way, we're definitely going to do this triple threat match at King or Queen of the Ring. I made that prediction before Sammy made the challenge, but the thing is that this could have waited a week. They really could have. They've literally drilled this Intercontinental feud into the ground. They could have made this about King of the Ring and given all of the people. I can pick 2 segments in one match, this being the match, where they could have gotten rid of it and they could have literally put the other King and Queen of the Ring matches in here. We could have had them all. So I just think it's bad booking, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this spot, the match? Could it have waited? Was it good that it was here? What do you guys think?
I didn't need it. I would have rather had the, Ray's match. I really would have.
Right, because I was actually looking forward to Kofi versus Ray. I don't think, have they wrestled before like that?
I don't think so.
You've got a Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Famer that you're going to...
Both former champions.
That you are now, instead of putting them on the main event, you're throwing them on just a random live event on Saturday that's not even televised. Yep. That's a slap in the face to me. I'm sorry. I think Ray's over the hill. Don't get it twisted. But that's a slap in the face. Like, really? At least make it a dark match after it and just air it on YouTube or some shit.
Yep.
But no, they're just a random live event on Saturday, wherever the hell it is. And that's, to me, that really is, that's an insult to both of them.
Yep. I agree. I do agree. So we're going to move on, though, to our Gunther segment. Gunther says, basically, this is what happens. He's in the back. Gunther says he doesn't care about banger after bangers. All he cares about is being the best in the world. He says that he's going to expose Sheamus for being a people pleaser and does not mind beating him again. Which is going to bring us...
burger?
What? Burger after burger.
Is that a burger?
But Becky, we're going to move into our Becky Lynch segment where Michael Cole is actually doing a proper interview, which is very interesting. So Michael's going to give her a hard time about her outfit at the Kentucky Derby. And the only reason I take issue with this is because Seth wears the dumbest shit I've ever seen. And Becky wears a weird hat that doubles as sunglasses, and Michael's like, why'd you decide to wear that? It's like, bitch, what is wrong with you?
Because it's the Kentucky Derby, and you wear a big-ass fucking hat at a Kentucky Derby.
Right.
I'm just saying.
The idea is to, like, be loud at a Kentucky Derby, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why...
And that was the quietest I've ever seen fucking Seth, ever. Like, his outfit
he was quiet.
almost good.
Quiet, yeah. It looked wearable. Like, you know what? I wouldn't mind wearing that.
No, don't say that, because Seth looked like a circus man who wrangled monkeys or something. Like, I don't understand.
It was a 19th. Did he have to say monkeys? Really?
He had to say monkeys.
I didn't pick anything else.
Animals, circus animals. Oh, what?
God damn.
You could have said circus animals. No, he out here wrangling monkeys. I heard the hatred in your voice. I need you to relax a little bit.
What?
This ain't SmackDown. SmackDown is tomorrow.
Oh.
Right? Jesus Christ.
I'm upset.
Like 40s and 50s, that would have been an everyday outfit. But for Seth, it was extremely... Wow, that was one hell of a lightning bolt.
Oh,
For
shit.
Seth, that was fucking...
That was calm.
That was calm, yeah.
It was a good outfit. Like, it wasn't bad.
He was in his own closet, not Becky's for once.
Yeah, true. Anyway, look, so what's going to happen is Michael's basically going to ask Becky who she's excited to go against now that the draft is over, and she actually mentions some pretty decent names. She mentions, she says she welcomes the winds of change, and she names Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Kiana James, Lyra Valkyria. Michael brings up Zelina Vega, and Becky goes, yeah, she's hungry. All very interesting things. Out of that list, I would actually be interested to see Alba Fire go against her. I would be interested to see Lyra go against her. I would be interested to see Zelina. Isla Dawn and Kiana James, both good in their own right. Those would be the three that I would say I would want to see first. And I'm sure that we're going to get, if not all, at least some of them. At least Lyra will get in the mix. Probably after she wins Queen of the Ring. So
people every week.
Becky's gonna go on to say that WrestleMania, the better woman won, and that's gonna haunt her forever. But then 2 weeks later, she beat 14 other women to become champion, and Liv's music is gonna hit, and she's gonna come out and say that she's pissed that people, but Becky specifically won't give her any respect. She says that she wants to talk about the title shot that she promised her and reminds her that she is a SmackDown champion, that she's a Money in the Bank winner, that she's this, that she beat Nia Jax last week, and all of these kind of things. Becky says, you didn't let me finish. You have your shot at the King and Queen of the Ring in 3 weeks. Becky says that all of her accomplishments are great, but they don't really mean anything because she's never beat her. Liv is going to say, that's true, and now I have the one thing that I didn't have before, and that's purpose. And now, with that purpose, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to beat you at King and Queen of the Ring, sucker. Can you dig it? So, Damage Control after this is going to come out, and Dakota says...
You know what, Liv turned into Book of T. Book of Liv out here.
Damage Control comes out, and Dakota says that Liv Morgan did nothing to earn her title shot, and that Damage Control have Queen and King of the Ring on lock, and they've decided to come out and show them that they are the most dominant females on Raw. Liv and Becky go back to back and act like they're going to go 2-on-3 against Damage Control, but at the last second, Liv is going to dip out of the ring, and Damage Control is going to get into the ring and just beat the ever-loving hell out of Becky, and who should come down to make the save? None other than
Hulk Hogan.
None other than Lyra Valkyria, donning the red and yellow, comes out. Kidding. No, but Lyra comes out, saves the day. As she passes Liv's, she basically asks her why, and Liv basically says, not my business. So,
There.
Damage Control is going to be a thorn in the side of them. They're just annoying, but it is what it is. I get why it has to be a thing. So we're going to go into our Sami Zayn segment. Jackie Redmond is in the back with Sami, and she asks him to comment on the Bronson, Chad, and him issue. He says that it's personal with Chad, but professional with Bronson, because Bronson doesn't give a crap who has the title. He just wants the title. He then makes the challenge at Saudi Arabia for the triple threat match to handle this once and for all. Obviously, again, we are going to do this match, and it's going to be awesome. Don't get it twisted. It's going to be a good match. Don't get it twisted. Sami is still going to win.
If Sami wins by doing the I got my ass whooped,
that's what's going to happen.
You know, the power of positivity is going to push me through the threshold. I'm going to be done watching him wrestle. Every time he comes on the screen, off. He's going to lose viewership. Fuck that. Stupid.
It's fair. That's fair. But this is going to put us into Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai.
I don't think it was a particularly good match.
I think it was a good match. I just think that it was full of botches. And I think that they disrespected the match at the very beginning by playing the goddamn Planet of the Apes preview during the match. Like, Michael, literally, the match started, and Michael was like, look at the preview of Planet of the Apes, and they're sitting there fighting, and there's some apes on the screen. Like, what is happening? Like, what? Like,
sounds like a bad joke.
It's Lyra Valkyria's literal debut wrestling match on the roster. It's the women's main event of Raw, the third women's match, the semi-main event to Raw, and we're playing a Planet of the Apes trailer. What the fuck is going on?
T basically said that this match was going on, and then they started to show previews of SmackDown. That's what he said. He said they previewed SmackDown.
He was upset.
He said, why they got these monkeys on the screen?
I'm gonna start getting hate on Twitter. Someone's gonna say something. Someone's gonna be like, what's going on? Why are you racist? Tell me the story. Like, no. Y'all setting me up for something. I don't know what it is. A beatdown? People want to dox me, show up at my house. God damn it.
Ain't nobody doxing you, man.
Why are you racist?
Oh, my.
Why are you racist?
And the worst thing is like, if I explain it, it sounds racist. So I can't even, I can't even save it.
Explain it. How do you can't save that? It's like, all right, well, it's not racist. Look, I just said that a lot of people of color are on the SmackDown show. There's a chocolate brand. Look.
I'm sorry for thinking that was a term of endearment, but either way.
What is the term of endearment?
Who doesn't like chocolate?
Oh.
Who doesn't like chocolate? I would love to be called white chocolate. Anyway, we moving on. We moving on. So, a couple of notes that I...
Gee, if your boss came in and said, hey, dark chocolate, you'd have an issue with that.
That's fair.
I'm just saying. If Alberto came down and said, hey, dark chocolate, you'd have an issue.
All right, but he'd be upset for him to be in his office in general, so I don't know if that's fair.
That's fair. Like, what you doing?
That's fair. But
Number one, what you doing here? Number two, don't you ever in your life.
So, anyway, a couple notes that I took on the match. The front suplex to bridge pin, or Northern Lights pin, was amazing from Lyra to Dakota. Like, she grabbed her, did the not backflip, but did the basically front suplex or the Northern Light suplex as they call it, and went right into that bridge and held it. Beautiful. Lyra had some really good quick strike combinations. I like the way she does quick strikes, like the whole kick you in the stomach, kick you in the fucking shoulder, brings you up, punch, kick in the leg, kick you in. Like, I thought it was pretty cool. She did it quickly. It was precise. It was good. And then Dakota had a really nasty looking stomp to Lyra while Lyra was hanging off the second rope. looked pretty vicious. Basically stomped her head into the damn mat. And then after that, what I put was that the ending was sloppy, and honestly, Asuka would have been a much better match. Lyra did hit the Nightwing to end it, but like I said, it was sloppy. Lyra also missed her mark when Dakota went for a fireman's carry kick move. So it was two major botches, and I think it's the same thing that happened with Jade at Backlash. I think that Lyra maybe started to lose a little bit of confidence once things started messing up here and there. And I think that's just jitters, and I think it happens, and but it just wasn't the greatest match, like Dress was saying. So at first I was going to write that I thought that this should have been on the dark match, but the thing is, it's Lyra Valkyria. Like, you can't just not have her on the show. You know what I mean? So the match had to happen. So it's just, it's just something that's unfortunate that happened as far as it not being a great match. I mean, what did you guys think ultimately?
Now, interestingly, like I told G, and he actually seemed honestly surprised. Of the women's matches of the night, this was the one I was looking forward to the most. Because of the women that got called up from NXT, Valkyria is the one that I was most interested to see. So I was looking forward to this one. I really was. I was extremely disappointed by it because it just wasn't there. Like you said, you see botch here, botch there. Once it started, it spiraled. It's the same thing we were talking about from the PLE this weekend. Once it started and they couldn't instantly fix it, it just kind of spiraled out of control and created a less interesting match for us to watch.
Indeed. All right, we got a couple more things, and then we got the Gunther and Sheamus. So we're gonna get the announcement that Ray versus Kofi and Shayna versus Zelina is gonna be on a house show. Now, this is the notes that I made. I've already said these things, but I'm just gonna go through them. What I said was why. We had a bunch of segments in one match that we didn't need tonight. It's crazy that they couldn't have tried to squeeze in at least one more match. Personally, out of the two, I would have wanted to see Shayna and Zelina Vega, since she is defending her Queen of the Ring title. In my opinion, it was just bad booking. So Kofi is going to be in the back, talking about him taking Xavier's spot because Xavier is now injured thanks to Gunther. He said that he's going to go through Ray and he's going to teach Gunther that New Day rocks. And again, in my notes, I just said, see above. There's actually a story here, and it's going to a live event. There's a story now. Like, Xavier's injured. Kofi is going in his friend's spot. So, which tells me that Xavier is probably going to go over Ray. So Kofi's probably going to go over Ray. Kofi's going to get to go against Gunther, and Gunther's going to kill Kofi. That's basically what's going to happen. But I just hope they release it. I hope on SmackDown they say, hey, if you want to watch the match, we're showing it live on X. Like, I hope something happens. I hope there's enough fan upset to where they fix this, because this is shitty. We really deserve to see these matches. Before the Gunther and Sheamus match, we're going to see them both in the back training. Look, guys, this match itself is hard-hitting. Hard-hitting as shit, to be honest. I mean, they start with chopping the hell out of each other back and forth, hitting really heavy blows to try to wear each other down. Gunther at one point is going to hit a chop to the back of the neck on Sheamus, which I would probably cry. Like, if you saw his hand mark was on Sheamus's back the rest of the match after that. Sheamus, again, he was never going to win this one. It's a good match for them to have. It was good to see them just have another banger. Sure, after the match, Sheamus went and had a burger. At one point, Sheamus is going to hit the 17 beats of the Bowrin. So he hits the beats of the Bowrin, but he hits it 17 times. Now, Kaiser at one point is going to get involved when Sheamus misses a bro kick and he gets hung up on the ropes. So not only does he tie him up further in the ropes, but he also does a drop kick to Sheamus's knee while he's hung up, which will ultimately get him kicked out. Kaiser kicked out before the commercial break. Gunther will work the knee for the rest of the match, pretty much just as he did to Xavier the week prior. The knee is going to end up being the complete downfall for Sheamus, as his offense is contingent on his knee being healthy and in a good position. His knee is going to give out multiple times during the match, and the rest of the match is Gunther basically working it, and Gunther is going to end up getting a half Boston Crab on Sheamus, to which he will be forced to tap out. He's going to tap out Sheamus, which is very rare. What I wrote is kudos to both men on the match. Sheamus actually looked very strong despite losing due to Ludwig having to cheat. On that front, on that front, I understand why this happened. On another front, neither man needed interference. Sheamus looked strong by almost winning and having his spirit of having the ability to fight back, and Gunther looks strong just because in general he's ruthless and is showing that he will do whatever it takes to win. I don't think that the interference was really needed, but outside of that, what did y'all think of the match?
Well, you know, the only aspect of the interference still being needed is just to show that Gunther's probably just, you know, he has his heel friend there, so he's gonna do anything to win. It's the only aspect. Other than that, banger after banger after banger, like Sheamus said, man, it was a hell of a match. Like, if you looked at Sheamus's Twitter, all this was red, just he was fucked.
So after the match, once it was off air, again, this is the great thing about the age we live in with people and their cell phones and all that. Sheamus got a standing ovation once he got up off the mat from that crowd.
Yes, he did.
To me, somebody else already said best match of the night to the Dragonuv match. No, to me, this was best match of the night. These two put on a hell of a match. And you know, at every turn, it was just, there was no sure way that it was going to go from the look of the match. If you look at it, you were pretty sure Gunther was going over, period. But from the match itself, I was there. It was a good match, you know. Again, PLE level match. Those two took it to the absolute extent that they possibly could.
You know what, man? I agree. It was a very, very good match. And you know what it is? It's the difference in... So, we had really two different style matches tonight, right? We had two little guys going against each other and two big guys going against each other. Two guys that like to flip around a lot, and two guys that like to just beat the holy hell out of people. And honestly, it just depends on what you like more. If you like the two big guys beating the shit out of each other, that's your match. If you like the guys doing the flips and all the high risk stuff, that's your match. But I do agree that both styles had bangers, which led to burgers.
All right.
So look, anyway, that was Raw, and Dresh, did you end up sending? Yes, you did. Okay, so I'm definitely not sharing that photo. But do you have the Queen of the Ring?
Nope, they have not posted that yet.
Did they really?
They have not posted it yet.
That's crazy. No way. Did you say you just found it?
Hold on.
Somebody posted a teaser on Reddit, but it got pulled down. Like I can see the picture here in my search of the 4 matches, but if I go to click on the Reddit to try and get a closer look, it tells you that the post was taken down.
Oh wait, no, I've got it right here.
Yep, it says Stephanie versus Blair.
Nope, I don't have that.
Oh,
Oh shit! Read what you have, and I'll read what I have.
I got Tiffany versus Blair. I have Nia versus Piper.
Yep.
I have Green versus. I'm not sure. Indy.
That's Indy. Yep, that's
and
Green versus Indy.
And Naomi versus. What's that?
Very interesting. So what I'm showing is Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. To be announced versus to be announced. Naomi versus Nia Jax. Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven.
Yeah, I ain't got none of that.
That's crazy. That's what's on the what's on the Wikipedia.
Huh.
Very interesting. Also, it shows Angelo Dawkins going against Tama Tonga, which I don't believe that. So this has got to be wrong. Like, no offense against Angelo Dawkins, but he just does not fit in this. He doesn't fit here.
Well, pulling the King of the Ring side, the King side, that's an official one. I believe that was Nick Aldis actually put that out.
Really? It is Angelo Dawkins?
No, the one that I put up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That still shows Bobby Lashley versus Tama Tonga. But we know Lashley is hurt, so it won't be Lashley versus Tonga. It'll be, like you said, probably KO.
Okay, so coming from Fightful, all right, so Fightful.com confirms what I said. Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, Jade Cargill, Piper Niven, Naomi, Nia Jax, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, Tama Tonga, Angelo Dawkins. That's what they just announced 2 hours ago. But it doesn't say the rest of the King of the Ring bouts, which you showed. Very interesting. Well, either way, I'll be very interested to see. I mean, the to be announced doesn't make sense because we know Tiffany's going to be in there, what if they do Tiffany versus Chelsea in the first round? Because then only one of them can win, and I will be pissed if Tiffany is eliminated immediately. I'll be pissed. But whatever. All right. So shall we get into a little bit of news, or have we ran too long, my friends?
We're over an hour and a half.
We are over an hour and a half,
and that's what we're shooting for. So I would say let's take the news to the actual Facebook. I haven't posted in a while. I'll pull some up and post it.
All right. Well, y'all, we had new chatters today. We had new followers today. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the community, joining the conversation. We look forward to seeing you all next time. Squirrels, special shout out to you. We missed you this week, man. I would have loved for you to be in here talking with our new peeps, but it is what it is. And as always, if you want good news and if you want good reviews, you come here to It's All a Work, snap into a podcast. Anything else, y'all have a great night.